It's fun to stay at the YMCA. It's fun to stay at the YMCA.
Welcome back to Am I the Asshole? Top of the Year edition.
We have made it an entire rotation around the sun. And these are the biggest assholes on the planet.
Yep.
As voted by Reddit. That's the episode we're doing today. It's a little different. But it's the end of the year. End of the year.
Yeah, y'all remember we did, and some of these, I don't know if some of these are going to overlap per the last time we did this. I think the last time we did something like this was over a year ago. If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think that like the first year that we started. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is basically all of 2024. The last one we did was like all time. If you remember, we did episodes for all time assholes, all time not the assholes, and all time everyone sucks. So this is solely a year in review of 2024, the top 4 voted assholes. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna see if they're actually assholes. We're gonna break out the old thinking caps and our old Reddit auditor boards, and we're gonna see if these individuals are actually assholes, and if so, how bad.
Yep. But before we put on that hat, we have a different hat to put on. Oh. Brace yourselves.
It's time for an ad read.
I'll have some fun with that one.
Oh yeah. Y'all know what it's already about. We are partnered with Into the AM, who bring us all the dope clothing that we be rocking up on these shows. You know what I'm saying? I'm rocking a shirt right now. Got the beanie on. He's got the hat on. He's probably got the draws on too, if I'm being real with you.
Probably.
Guaranteed.
Definitely. I don't own any others.
This is true. This is fair. That's right. We are partnered with Into the AM, and we appreciate everybody who has helped support us through that by going to the link in our description and our pinned comment, intotheam.com/lousy, where you too, if you're new to that, can also go and get what, Sam?
If you go on there and get some dope stuff, if you put in our code lousy at checkout, you get 10% off on top of whatever other deal they're running, which is super sweet. So get yourself some cool stuff, save yourself a lot of money. And and look cool like us.
Yeah, absolutely. Y'all know we've been rocking Into the AM for a hot minute, so y'all should join the trend as well. It is great, high quality clothing that you can rock every single day. Hats, shirts, pants, shorts, draws, the whole 9 yards. Highly recommend it. Go check it out. Again, link in the description and in the pinned comment, intotheam.com/lousy. Again, intotheam.com/lousy. And while you're there, subscribe to the channel, like the video, drop a comment down below, give us your favorite emote, or you know what, tell us what your favorite Into the AM piece of clothing is that you purchased in the comments. But with that, we have officially paid for the lights to stay on.
Yep.
Sam, it is time for us to get into this. But even though it's the end of the year, new year, new traditions all on the horizon. The one thing that remains the same is war.
It never changes, as they say.
Brings out the worst in us.
What's it good for? Absolutely nothing.
Huh. All right. I felt a good pop on that one.
I don't know if you heard that, but I know they did. And definitely not going to enhance mine.
Not at all. Count it off, buddy.
Okay, you ready?
Yep.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Ready? Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Aha.
Yeah. Yep. I will take that tie as a victory at least.
That was good. Yeah, it's a good battle. Hard fought. But hey, look on the bright side. Because of that, you now get to read the top asshole story of the year.
This is true. Losses turn into wins.
Yep. So
before we jump in, I just got a very important message. Let me see. Put some like Jeopardy music that's non-copyright on us right now. Now. Done. Okay.
All right. So for our fourth biggest asshole of the year, supposedly. Am I the asshole for laughing at the name my sister chose for her baby? Off to a great start. For context, I, 28 female, attended a family dinner with my mom, dad, and sister, 26 female, yesterday. My sister is due to give birth soon and decided this dinner would be the perfect time to announce the name she chose for her first child. My sister has always been obsessed with aesthetics. Her whole house is beige and rather depressing, if I'm honest. The whole nursery she built for the baby is beige and gray and will not accept colorful gifts for the baby. I can tell her husband hates it, but he won't admit it. Now here's the issue. I'm very prone to laughing at inappropriate times. I'm autistic and find it hard to filter what I say and my emotions, which can lead to me reacting to things in ways that can offend people. I didn't think this would cause issues until she revealed the name of her baby. So we are done with our dinner. We are looking at my sister as she announces her baby will be named Brooklyn Willow Rose. Brooklyn Willow is hyphenated. Insert surname, not including it for privacy. For those that might just be listening, it's BROOKLEEIGH spelt exactly like that. And then I burst out laughing and said, "You cannot be serious. I am now banned from all family dinners." Rip. Is the name really that bad? Was I really a massive asshole? I'll wait on the update for a second. But
yeah, don't read the update just yet.
So yeah, to recap, am I the asshole for laughing at the name Brooklyn Willow Rose my sister chose for her baby?
Yo, white people be doing the most, bro. Have you seen my son Lakeland Gimothy Talem? What? Let me combine as many words as I can.
Oh man, I will say this just really quickly. Yes, but no. Yes, you are an asshole, but no, you're not an asshole at the same time.
Look. If we're answering the question, no. Like, okay, okay. Oh, so if you're
oh. It's the like the recent TikToks where it's like the subtle foreshadowing. Like that's what I'm getting is just like it's like you try to start a thought and there's just
look, I'm just gonna say like laughing at the name, not at all. Laughing at your sister's face, yeah, like that's what made you an asshole. But laughing at the name, fuck no.
That's a dumb fucking name. I'm sorry. That kind of makes me an asshole, but it's a dumb fucking name. Like it'd be better if it was spelled not as fucking weird. And then who's hyphenating a first name? Like these days, like this ain't no Bobby Sue fucking bullshit anymore. Like,
yeah,
just keep it simple. One name. Now Brookley Willow's gonna have a fucking long ass first name. It's not gonna fit on her goddamn driver's license. But
Oh my god.
but yeah, yeah, you're kind of an asshole. Just because it's keep the thoughts to yourself. I know it can be hard, but you gotta you gotta keep it in.
Look, that's no. The whole thing is you laughed at your sister's face. That was an asshole move.
Yeah.
Fucking laugh your fucking dick off at that name. Like that's a rough name. Of course, as y'all already know, Reddit deemed this to be an asshole. Before we read the update, I just want to see what these comments say.
Yeah.
First comment here says, you've got 3 separate issues / questions here. 1, I am now banned from all family dinners. This seems a big overreaction unless there's more background you haven't shared. 2, is the name really that bad? Yes, it really is. 3, was I really a massive asshole? You were rude and inappropriate. You're the asshole. But that poor kid. Look. Yeah. That's very valid.
Yeah, I'll take the next one here.
Go ahead.
Like the next actual one, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. You're the asshole, but you are a correct asshole. LOL, poor kid.
Yep. Now let's go read that update.
Yeah, so update here. After writing this post, I decided to call my sister and apologize, as when I wrote down what happened, I did realize what a dick move that was. I said I was sorry for laughing, and I apologized for using my mental disability as an excuse and offered to treat her to lunch as an apology. Understandably, she was reluctant to forgive me, but she did, which I am thankful for. She said she was hurt by my actions, which I understood, but was willing to look past it. I knew posting the story on here would give me the slap in the face that I needed, which I appreciate. And if anyone's wondering, the name is staying. I didn't comment at all on it, which is safe. But yeah, poor Brookley Willow Rose.
You remember that back in the day, who was it? Was it Carlos Mencia who would do like the skit on Comedy Central of the odd names of kids in the US, and one was like Usnavi. And it's because they saw the sign that said US Navy. That's what this is right here, dude.
Yeah. Well, no, this is just either not knowing how to spell or saying, fuck it, we ball. Like, yeah.
Yeah,
that's bad. That's
all
really
right.
bad.
Next.
Moving on. So far, asshole is technically holding up.
Yeah. No, not really.
No.
All right. Am I the asshole for making my daughter choose a different restaurant for her birthday meal than the one she really wanted? My 39 female daughter very recently had her 17th birthday.
My is 39. So
okay.
is 39.
Whew,
yeah. The way it read was
what?
like, your daughter's 39? What?
My 39 female daughter very recently had her 17th birthday. My husband, 42 male, and I told her to pick out a restaurant that she'd like us to take her to for her birthday. She chose a seafood restaurant that we'd never been to. In looking over the menu, I saw that the vast majority of the dishes contained shellfish. There were a few fish entrees as well as some surf and turf, but there were only a couple of non-seafood dishes. Our son, 15 male, is deathly allergic to shellfish. He also can't stand fish. There were only a couple of dishes that he could actually eat. I didn't want to take him there because I knew that he wouldn't really enjoy his meal, and I was worried about cross-contamination. I told my daughter that this restaurant wouldn't work and that she would have to pick out a different one. My son said that he would be fine just staying home, that we could use the money that we would have spent on his meal to just order him a pizza instead. My husband also insisted that since it was our daughter's birthday, that she should be able to choose the restaurant and that our son would be fine home alone with pizza and video games. But here's the thing. We can only afford to go out as a family ever so often. When we splurge on a restaurant meal, I want both of our children there. I insisted, and my daughter chose a different place, and we had a nice meal as a family. But she is still a little salty that she didn't get to have her first choice of restaurants. Most people I've asked say I'm wrong, but again, we can only afford to go out ever so often. Is it so wrong that I wanted to do it as a family? My daughter still had a very nice birthday meal. Sam, we
It's
could
easy.
say it together.
Yep.
3, 2, 1. Asshole.
Yep.
Like,
she's putting her feelings and thoughts ahead of her daughter's on her daughter's birthday. Is it nice to go out and eat as a family? Yes. But son's cool with it. Daughter's cool with it. Husband's cool with it. You're just a raging bitch. So,
well, you missed one very, very important factor here.
what's
It's
that?
her daughter's birthday. One day out of the year
Yeah.
that she gets to celebrate her. One. Get the fuck over yourself. The brother, their son, already cool with it. He's like, hey, look, sis, you want to go there? That's totally fine. Nothing against it. I'm going to stay home and eat pizza. She probably already knew. She probably like, hey, I appreciate you. Like, thank you for letting me go have my moment. Even the dad's like, yeah, no, he's going to stay home and play video games and eat pizza. He's going to be in fucking seventh heaven. Like, we'll be fine. Mom over here is like, no, we need to have dinner as a family because I said so. You went as far as to have to go post this to fucking Reddit.
Yep.
Like, this is one of those times where I really want to go like, okay, boomer, put your fucking phone down. Like,
yeah, that's an easy asshole. Like,
easy.
Makes sense why this is the third biggest asshole of the year.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's see these comments down here.
The first one, you're the asshole for a lot of reasons. First, if you're going to put parameters on her choice, you should have told her that beforehand. Second, you seem more hung up on the fact that your son wouldn't like the food than his allergy. Your son's preferences are irrelevant. This is your daughter's day. He seems to understand that, but you don't. Third, if you were really concerned about cross-contamination, you'd have called ahead to discuss your concerns and see what precautions the restaurant would be willing to take. If that isn't satisfying, which would be perfectly understandable, your son offered to stay home. I get that you want to have a family meal, but all you have done is tell your daughter that she is not worth individual celebration. This could have been a great opportunity for you and your husband to have individual time with your 17-year-old, a rare opportunity. Instead, you squandered that, created unnecessary conflict, and possibly formed resentment between your daughter and her brother.
No, I don't think there's gonna be any resentment between the siblings here. Like, they're probably on the same page of him being like, look, sis, go enjoy your dinner. Like,
yeah, I think the kids are old enough to understand what's happening here, right? Especially daughter 17. We don't know how old. Did they say how old the son was? 15. Yeah,
15.
They're old enough. Yeah.
Yeah. This next comment down is actually kind of perplexing. It says, well, I mean, I get it, but you're the asshole. Your daughter didn't get what she wanted for her birthday. Your husband had no problem with it. Your son had no problem with it. Essentially, you decided what you wanted was more important than anyone else. And when you look at that, you got what you wanted because your word in law, fuck the birthday girl's choice, right? You were upset about the location choice on behalf of your son, who wasn't upset about it at all. You made your daughter's birthday about your wants. Why even pretend she had a choice in where to go? You dangled the illusion of choice in front of her, then overruled her in favor of what you wanted always. Okay, so the first line got me.
Yeah.
The rest of it made sense. So,
I mean, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was saying, yeah, no, this is open close for me.
Yeah, like I do kind of get wanting to do something as a family, but that's something for Christmas, some other holiday. You know, if it's celebrating an individual, let the individual get celebrated. It doesn't necessarily have to be all together. And also, 9 times out of 10, most families go to the restaurant, have dinner, come back, birthday cake, presents. Brother will be there for that.
Yeah.
And he can offer some pizza if anybody's still hungry.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, this is easy. Open shut.
Moving on.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching the video. Make sure to hit the subscribe button while you're here and join the Lousy Listeners. And also, click the join button. For $2.99 a month, you can become a Lousy member where you can get some awesome perks, cool emotes, and interact with Sam and I. Also, click the link to join our Discord and have fun with all the other Lousy Listeners. Let's get back to the video.
Next. All right, number 2 for the year. Am I the asshole for punishing, quote unquote, my family by no longer doing birthdays, holidays, vacations because my dad screwed me and my wife over? When my wife and I were talking about getting married, my dad said that he would give us a down payment for a home. We were thrilled and kept that in mind. We would be able to afford a good starter home with his help, and we scrimped and saved to add to it. Except apparently he meant a sum of money good for a down payment for a house near us, where the cost of living is low. He did not ever mean a down payment for a home in Colorado, where my wife and I have lived since we were in college. He said he thought I would be smart enough, quote unquote, to realize that we'd need to move somewhere with a lower cost of living than Colorado. At first, I thought it was like Colorado. I was like, lower Colorado than Colorado. Uh, he keeps saying move to a cheaper city. Our lives are here. Our friends, our jobs, our hobbies. You can't exactly leave your house and be on top of a 14,000-foot peak in 6 hours where my family is. I told him that we had never talked about moving back there, and we never would. That we would rather be stuck renting for a while longer than be stuck somewhere we didn't want to be, and the move to a cheaper city wouldn't work for us. He said, so be it, and gave us the amount, and that was that. I expressed gratitude and thanked him for the money. It is still towards the goal. Well, because of this shift in our finances, we have had to make a lot of changes to save up the rest of the money. We have had to cut out vacations, birthday gifts, holidays, etc. We won't be traveling home for a few years. At our current rate, we should have an okay down payment by the end of next year, 2025. My dad confronted us about this because we won't come for a summer break trip and told me that I was being a selfish, entitled brat because I hadn't gotten my way. That I was essentially punishing the rest of my family because we assumed what his gift would be. I told him that I was grateful for the amount he gave us, but that it means we do need to buckle down and save every penny if we want to be able to afford a house anytime soon. Even townhouses around us are easily over 400K, and that's for the sketchy ones. But is my dad right? Am I the asshole? I think edit's okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So edit to add frequently asked questions. There was no amount formally discussed. He said a down payment, and that was that. For my siblings, he paid for college. He paid cash in full for my sister's house. It was $317,000. He did not pay for my college. They were invited to come here anytime, but believe it should be me to go there because I am the one who moved. No, we do not go out to eat. No avocado toast, Starbucks, cable, etc., etc. This is at least it's not as obvious. We're having to do a little bit of thinking.
Okay, if we base this off of exactly what was said, because it doesn't seem like there's missing context here. They were very, very literate.
Yeah.
In their statements here. I'm gonna say not the asshole leaning everyone sucks. I don't believe this should be an asshole. Actually, as a matter of fact, no. I don't even think it's everyone sucks. I think this is not the asshole. This last part here, my dad confronted us about this because we won't come over for summer break trip and told me that I was being selfish entitled brat because I hadn't gotten my way. That I was essentially punishing the rest of the family because we assumed what his gift would be. I told him that I was grateful for the amount he gave us, but it means that we do need to buckle down and save every penny if we want to be able to afford a house anytime soon. Even townhouses around us were easily over 400K, and that's for the sketchy ones. You're not an asshole. You're being financially literate.
Yeah.
You're like, here's the thing. Should you have assumed that your dad was going to give you a large sum of money? No. That is the only thing in my mind that would make this everyone sucks. Outside of that, you and your wife are making the best financial decisions possible because you want to own property one day.
Yeah. I think the only argument that can be made there is, yeah, it's a high cost of living. So, I mean, some would argue like, oh, you can own land way cheaper back home, but that's not the point. At first I was thinking everyone sucks because like the title sounded a little like he was kind of holding back some resentment for dad
Yeah.
there. But reading the whole thing, I kind of get it, because like at first I was like, oh, he didn't screw you over. He gave you probably, if it was a cheaper area, let's call it, 250 grand for a decent house. You need 20%. So it's, call it about 40, 50K. That's a lot of money. Right.
Yeah.
And so at first I was like, all right. But then if he paid for college for the other siblings, bought a $317,000 house for his sister, and then wants to give him a kind of meager sum, which, I mean, who are we to judge the amount of money? But still, at the end of the day, it definitely seems that OP here might be the black sheep of the family.
That's what it sounds like. Yeah.
And OP not once, according to the post, said, you ungrateful bastard, or, anything else like that. He just said, thank you. And then all he did was say, like, hey, we're not moving back home. Like, this is home for us. And dad didn't like it, I guess. But so yeah, I think I gotta go not the asshole based off of all that. Like I said, it might softly lead everyone sucks, but honestly, reading the whole thing, I don't really get OP being an asshole here. He's just being independent.
Yeah, I agree with you entirely. It definitely sounds like they're the black sheep a bit here, because we can only assume that like that house that dad bought the sister is located near them, especially off the parameters of what he was giving his son. Like OP here was told like, oh, you should be moving back home where it's cheaper. That, like, to me, it sounds like what's happening there is either sister moved somewhere that dad liked, or sister lives near, dad in general.
Yeah.
And some kids are like that. Some kids aren't. OP went off and got his own life, lives in Colorado, has a wife, like it was said, job, hobbies, everything there. And you just can't uproot that and go.
Yeah.
I'm going to say not the asshole. I think the title is very misleading. I think the title is a bit clickbaity.
Yeah.
But I do say that you were misjudged here in being called an asshole. However, let's see what these comments have to say.
Yep.
Now we're looking for Leading Rock 418. Did Leading Rock 418 say anything? Because if not, I'm just going to skip over the info one. All right, I'm skipping over the info one. I don't see him. All right. Comment 2 here. Your dad screwed you and your wife by giving you money, but less than you had hoped for. If you can't afford to travel, that's one thing, but trying to portray this as your family screwing you over somehow, yikes, that's a definite you're the asshole for me. I didn't get that OP was trying to say that dad screwed them over. I think he was like, OP was just simply saying like, the dad, like, again, the only part that I could say that you could be an asshole here is if you had assumed you were getting a large sum of money, but I didn't even feel like you felt like you were supposed to. You were told a down payment, which you made very clear. And a down payment on a house can vary, yes, but if you base it off of the average of what the housing market looks like in your area, a down payment's a down payment, Yeah. So I think that comment's a bit askewed there.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of people too are taking the screwed over part maybe a little too literally there. Yeah. And yeah, it's harsh language for sure, but it's, in reading the context of it, I don't get why people are saying full asshole. But read the next one here. You're the asshole for framing it as your dad screwing you over. He offered you a down payment for a home. You assumed it'd be a certain amount. It wasn't, but he still gave you a generous gift. And now you describe that gift as screwing you over. Also, while you're under no obligation to go on family trips, to cut out any visits to them for a few years after your dad gave you this generous gift, because it wasn't as much as you were expecting, sends a message whether you meant it to or not. It wasn't a few years. It was literally 1 year. Maybe call it 2 if you want to say like the next time they'll be there is, end of December 2025. I mean, like we told our families the same thing. Like, hey, we're probably not going to be able to go travel after this move. Like we're going to be saving back up, and traveling won't be as realistic. And they were all totally fine with that. Like, not a huge deal, but
yeah. I think that's a fair understanding. Like you just it comes down to, as a parent, you have to be able to teach your children what financial literacy looks like and being smart with your money, however that looks like in your perspective. If that means you want to go spend, a fair budget on like hobbies and stuff, or you want to spend on property or what, or you want to do whatever, like invest in whatever. But to judge someone because they're not traveling when they clearly tell you like, hey, look, I'm not doing this because I'm trying to save for property.
Yeah.
To put them down after that, to me, is fucking horrible parenting, first of all. And that's more selfish on the fucking dad.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, like you're just being ruthless for no fucking reason. So,
yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna say not the asshole.
Yep. Not the asshole. Yep.
All right.
I got this one wrong.
Last but not least, the number one voted asshole of the year of our Lord 2024. Am I the asshole for telling my mom she's was an unwanted guest?
Title
You're an
alone,
asshole
just
for the
based-
title.
Yeah, fuck that. Yeah.
Am I the asshole for telling my mom she was an unwanted guest? My wife has had a stressful time at work and was looking forward to a vacation at her grandparents' cabin. She brought a few books she wanted to read, and I brought my fishing rod. She had no plans to entertain. My dad stopped by to go fishing. It was supposed to be just my dad stopping by for the day, but somehow my mom inserted herself in, and I was shocked to see her. My wife had no plans to entertain her. I told my mom that. My mom bought stuff for lunch and dinner and tried to engage my wife into making dinner for us all, and my wife said no. She's relaxing and reading. If my mom wanted to cook, that's my mom's prerogative. My dad and I get back late, and at the table, my mom started to complain about how she did this all herself. I looked at my wife, who just took her plate and ate in her room. My mom started to complain to me about it, and I told my mom she technically wasn't invited, and my wife had no expectations to entertain her in my wife's cabin while my wife is on vacation. My mom started saying, oh, well, she wouldn't have came if she knew that. I told my mom, next time, take the hint. If you aren't invited, don't come. My parents left after dinner. My mom complained that my wife should have tried to be a gracious hostess, and I said maybe my mom should try not being an unwanted guest. Woo!
Ooh.
There is a lot of prior engagement here that we're not getting in the context,
Mm-hmm.
and it is dripping off the page.
Yep. But I don't know if I disagree with OP here. Like, was it harsh? Maybe. Yeah, definitely. But was he wrong? No. No, he was not.
I'm going to give two different answers here. If there is a lot of missing context from prior engagements that have gone very negatively, I'm going to say asshole. If this is a more recent situation that has started to crop up, excuse me, sorry, let me rephrase that. If this is a more recent situation that started to crop up and you acted this way immediately, you're an asshole. If this has been going on for a long time and you're just fed up with your fucking mom's bullshit, you're not the asshole. Because I'm speaking that from someone who has been through something similar to this, where like, let's be fair here. My mother, doesn't fucking know what personal space is and doesn't know what a fucking hint looks like.
Yep.
So I can definitely resonate with OP. My only issue is I don't know if this has been a long time ongoing situation. Because if it has been, and you're just straight up telling her like, look, you're being a bitch, then yeah, by all means, like lay into her, because she needs to respect you and your wife. It's a whole leave and cleave mentality when you get married.
Yeah.
But if this is a new situation, like a newly developed thing, and you're just being a straight up asshole to your mom very quickly, I think everyone's gonna. I'm not gonna say you're an asshole. I'm gonna say everyone sucks.
Yeah.
Because mom shouldn't be acting like that either.
No, and like the biggest part here is Dad was planned, but Dad was out fishing with OP. Mom wasn't planned, which is fine. It's whatever. But then mom needs to respect that space and not try to force somebody into doing something they don't want to do. And so when it says my mom bought stuff for lunch and dinner and tried to engage my wife into making dinner for us all, and my wife said no, that's where I immediately was like, nope, I don't care what you're saying. Like, unless you're calling her a raging cunt, like, and a bitch, and like all this, like, and saying all these really negative things. But OP's just being honest here. He's like, hey, next time take the hint. You weren't invited. Like, and maybe you can also be a little bit better at describing, like, hey, this is the problem. Like, if you just want to come here and hang out and leave her alone to have her space, totally fine. Probably. But it's also the wife's grandparents' cabin. It's not OP's grandparents. It's not OP's parents. It's OP's grandparents, or it's OP's wife's grandparents' cabin. So I'm gonna say for this, not the asshole leaning everyone sucks. If it is kind of what you were talking about, where he's just being a dick all of a sudden, you know. But I can taste the tension here. Like, it's weird.
And that's why, like, the way it's proposed here, I feel like there's a long time issue that's just boiling over in this one situation. And so that's why I'm leaning not the asshole. I'm genuinely curious what the comments are going to say to pin this individual as the asshole.
Before we scroll down, I'm just going to guess that it's the whole
respect your elders thing.
Well, that or they're just saying my mom started saying, well, she wouldn't have come if she knew that. I told my mom next time, take the hint. If you aren't invited, don't come. Yes, that's harsh. But sometimes you need to be harsh with family.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, let's see.
All right, let's see who these comments are.
Yeah, first one here. Congrats to your wife for actually prioritizing her wants and not succumbing to the pressure to entertain and host, which is very true. OP actually responded to that one. My mom thinks reading is boring, so she thought she was doing my wife a favor. My mom has never got it through her head that some people read for fun. So yeah, starting to paint a picture here of, hey, let me insert my beliefs, you know?
Okay, so now we're getting a little bit more of the you're the asshole. The second one down, a bit more of a paragraph. Mate, you're the asshole. Your first paragraph tells you you're the asshole. Your wife has had a stressful time at work. The trip to the cabin is an escape for her. No finger lifting, no hosting. So what do? You invite your dad. Knowing from past... Oh, I don't think he said he invited his dad.
It did say it was supposed to be just my dad stopping by for the day, but somehow my mom inserted herself and I was shocked to see her.
Okay. Let's see. You invite your dad, knowing from past experience, your mom will likely jump in because, as you say, she does this all the time. And then you leave the two of them to it because you and your dad are gone fishing. Bet you two had a great time, and then you come back to find your wife has been made to feel uncomfortable and restricted in her own family's place. Again, knowing that your mom invites herself and behaves this way all the time, drama ensues. How restful for your wife. You blame your mom for all this. Get a few digs in. Dude, wipe the dirt and denial off that mirror. That's you staring back at yourself. You're to blame.
So
that's aggressive.
That's really aggressive. I get where they're coming from, to where, like, if you know your mom is this way, you got to fucking distract your mom, which I kind of agree with that. So, like, I would put that as a notch towards everyone sucks.
Yeah.
But I'm still going to say not the asshole. Because, like, you know, I don't think that's enough to push it to asshole by far, you know?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, because, like, here's the thing. If, from what it sounds like, the wife and him knew they were going there for her to go relax and do their thing. That's why he left the house. Like, he was outside doing stuff outside away from her because she wanted to be in a quiet place, reading, relaxing, so on and so forth. You know, damn thing's dying. You know, fast forward, dad comes over, gone fishing with him. Cool. They're outside. They're not bothering anybody. Mom comes with dad, starts bothering her. Like that. Yeah, that's an issue. But let's be fair here for a moment. that's where dad needs to step in and be like, honey, I'm going fishing with our son. Stay home.
Ooh. So
What?
I'm just going to go down. This is kind of supporting it. So there's a comment down. It's a couple down. It's from somebody. Their username is Giant Brown Guy. I'm not making that. It's there. You see it on the screen. Everyone sucks here. Once your mom showed up, you needed to make it clear to her that your wife wasn't there to entertain her. By leaving your wife to deal with your mom, you added to the awkwardness of the situation. Your mom is a bigger asshole for just showing up uninvited because your dad was there. But irrespective of that, you should have done more to preserve your wife's peace before leaving with your dad. And to clarify, I'm only judging OP and his mom. I don't think wife or dad did anything to contribute to the judgment. OP responded to that by saying, my wife said nope and went to her room and read all day. My mom was like, what the fuck? Because she pulls this shit with my sister and they will bend over to all my mom's wishes and demands. So wife sees that, says no, and then goes over here and still has a great time. So like wife wasn't really put out by it. She just had to go into a different room. Like sounds like wife knew kind of what to deal with and how to deal with it.
It sounds like this has been an ongoing issue. And with that, I'm leaning not the asshole.
Yeah. Like I said, it might be inching towards everyone sucks and could have been handled better. Probably. But
yeah, but if you've been dealing with something like that for a long time, at this point, the candle wicks out, dude. It's burnt down. I don't have the patience for this shit anymore. Like, I'm done.
Yeah. OP had responded to another.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just saying, my OP had responded to another comment saying my dad was invited fishing. There was no dinner plans. My mom got in the car and thought my wife would have a girls' day with her because my sisters fall for that shit. My wife doesn't and has no chill.
Fair. Yeah, the next big comment down from No Good Names says everyone sucks here except your wife. You invited your dad, he brought your mom, and you left your wife to deal with her. You should have brought your mom fishing and sent both parents home. I liken this back to the fact that we need to not let dad off the hook here.
Yeah.
No pun intended. Like, dad came out to go fishing. He should have told the mom, no, you're not coming with me. You're not going to go bother them. I'm going out there to go fishing with him because he's leaving her to have her quiet time. Like, dad's not off the hook here.
Dad's definitely not off the hook. Because dad knows just as much as everybody else.
Oh, yeah. And he ain't going to fucking say it.
Nope. No, he's just like, happy wife, happy life. I don't fucking care.
Yep. But I'm going to say, I think that Reddit got this one wrong.
Yep. I agree.
Yep.
That's crazy. Reddit got the top 2 wrong.
Yeah. Let us know what y'all think in the comments, because these are very interesting as far as I did not anticipate that. I honestly anticipate us getting the worst of the worst.
Yeah.
Like for us to go, wow, you're fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I guess it's just the ones that are slightly more divisive that get more votes, which is why it's at the top. But
that's fair. Let us know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. Did we get these wrong? Do you agree with us? Do you disagree with us? Likely you probably disagree with us, and that's okay. We love to hear it regardless. While you're there, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and based on my calendar here, we have one more episode before the new year, and that episode comes out on New Year's Eve, which is a podcast next Tuesday. Tune in for that. It is us reading our favorite comments from you all throughout the year.
Yep. We've got some good
fun.
ones.
You should tune in for that.
Yeah.
We'll see y'all then. Have a good one. Bye.